All right, guys. National Weather Service Huntsville issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for DeKalb County. And that is going to be due to some large hail up to quarter size with this storm here. Moving off to the northeast, areas impacted would be southeastern DeKalb County, northeast Alabama. Until 7:45 at 7:02, severe thunderstorm was located. Let me get my mic here. You may not be able to hear me. Give me just a second. Didn't realize my mic had come unplugged here. Okay, let me correct this. Okay, I think we're good. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning for DeKalb County. Let me grab that up. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail areas impacted. Lebanon, Pine Ridge, Fort Payne, Dogtown, Colibran, Guest, Adamsburg, DeSoto State Park, Little River Canyon National Preserve, and Rainsville. So that's moving on off to the kind of the northeast. So Fort Payne, you could be getting some hail here pretty shortly. There's a nice little hail core there. Looks like it's along Galt Avenue South, moving to the northeast. Looks like around Douglas, which is going to be south of Fort Payne. Looks like the barbecue place, it says. It's moving off to the northeast, so it may impact Fort Payne, or it may stay just a little bit to the south of Fort Payne, but we're going to watch it. There's a warning there, and then there's another cell here with some hail. It may need to be warned here pretty shortly. Got some hail developing in this cell here south of Crossville. Very heavy shower and storm there. Lots of lightning with it, as well as some hail. Just south of Crossville, we got another development here right at my station where I'm at.
Channel 4, AWC, your mobile for a minute.
We're going to keep an eye on that. Let's see here. 1 second, everybody. KO4EWP, this is KO4FUN. Has anyone put out that severe thunderstorm warning on here yet?
Yeah, I don't think so. I heard the weather radio going off in there a little bit ago, but I don't think anybody's put it out on here. Plus my phone's in there chirping like a Pope mobile in home.
Roger that. Let me pass it to you. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern DeKalb County. That's going to be until 7:45, so 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail possible. Locations impacted would be Lebanon, Pine Ridge, Fort Payne, Dogtown, Colibran, Guest, Adamsburg, DeSoto State Park, Little River Canyon National Preserve, and Rainsville.
Well, that's what we need, some more hail. My truck can't take much more. It's already done $6,000 worth of damage. All we need is some more. It looks like it's been shot at with a cannon right now. So, yeah, we just need some more hail damage. That's what we need.
Oh, man, I'm sitting here, my fingers crossed, hoping that it don't do nothing here like that. I'm about to get my car in the shop to paint, and if it's beat up, ain't going to be no need in painting it.
Yeah, I had mine looked at yesterday. The insurance company come out and looked at it. That quote was about $6,000.
So looks like this one is continuing off to the northeast. Again, watching Fort Payne, it's very close. Could be some hail. Decent size, quarter-size hail.
Golf balls. Somewhere in between golf balls.
And also watching this storm in between Crossville and Collinsville.
A little bit bigger than golf.
Roger that. Well, I'm glad you're all right. That's some big hail there. Well, let me say 73 to you. I'm live on Facebook here tracking this storm, so just wanted to reach out to you there and let you know that. Sounds like you already knew, but passing along anyway. KO4EWP is KO4FUN. I'll be clear on yours. Good talking with you.
Hey, Chris, 73. Have a good evening. Appreciate you tracking those for us and watching those. Thought I'd check in here for a minute. Been putting out mulch all day, so thought I'd just check in here for a minute. See who was running around. KO4EWP.
That sounds like Jamie was in some of that hail back a while back. that went just to the east of Guntersville. That was some very large hail. But anyway, back to tracking this here. This cell is moving to the northeast, and it may very well move over Fort Payne. I'm waiting on a radar update if it ever does. I'm starting to wonder if this thing's not lagging again like it was in the past. Looking at it under a secondary radar here, it is literally just south of Fort Payne, and I am seeing some peaks in the signatures here. There could be some $50 size hail in this thing. Let me switch over to my other radar here because this one is being really laggy again today. So we're going to switch this radar over and take a look at a little bit faster radar. Always love radar scope. It's always there for me every time I need it. Not really ever had a problem. So tracking this storm, as you see some of that there, that's some larger hail. There could be some larger hail about $50 size, or larger than a quarter, because these little pink areas are indicating some quarter size. There's some larger hail in there in those purple areas there, so there could be some very large hail in that cell just south of Fort Payne right now. So one thing I don't like about this is the map is not as good, but let's take a look. Okay, it just updated. It's moving very close to Douglas there. That would be along Highway 11 there, just to the east or south of Fort Payne. I'm sorry. We got a new warning coming out here, so bear with me on that. Southern DeKalb. Okay, that's going to be this one here that I was just talking about. National Weather Service in Huntsville issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for southern DeKalb County. It's located over Crossville, or 12 miles east of Boaz, moving east at 30, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Areas impacted would be Lebanon, Dogtown, Colibran, Adamsburg, Rodentown, Little River Canyon National Preserve, Crossville, Skirham, Lathamville, and DeSoto State Park. So we got two warnings up right now. If you're in Fort Payne, notice that the hail is kind of weakened out a bit, but you're probably still going to get hail in Fort Payne, around quarter-size hail possible with that now. Looking at this new cell here, it is just, let me see where I'm at here. That's Crossville and Geraldine to the north there. Get that fixed out here. So it is actually east of us. So it says Skirham is in the path, but it is actually east of us and southeast of us. So if you're in Crossville, you're seeing the warning go up, but everything is already passed. It's southeast of you. The winds and everything at the moment is southeast of you. So we got, sounds like another warning going out.
For here next son.
National Weather Service in Huntsville, Alabama has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Jackson County and northeastern Alabama.
Okay, and that's going to be due to this. We do have a line coming out of the north. There is a warning out now for northwestern, or let's correct that here. National Weather Service issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for, that's correct, northwest Jackson County. That's going to be located 7 miles west of Huntland, or 11 miles east of Fayetteville, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Areas impacted would be Lexi Crossroads, Jericho, Huntland, Elora, Estill Fort, Maxwell, High Top, Sherwood, Larkin, and Smithland. I'm having to try to get my radio up, so bear with me. This is Station 28 Skywarn. Want to advise, we got two severe thunders. Oh my goodness. Are we really going to do this? Okay. Okay. So it looks like that's going to be a pain, so let's just switch out. This Station 28 Skywarn, want to advise, National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Jackson County and northeast Alabama. Areas impacted, that'll be until 8:15, 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail. Areas impacted will be Lexi Crossroads, Jericho, Huntland, Elora, Estill Fork, Maxwell, High Top, Sherwood, Larkin, and Smithland. Now, moving down to DeKalb County, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings currently, with a stronger storm expected to move into the northwest portions of DeKalb, anywhere from around Geraldine to Grove Oak, and looks like Painter areas, Whiten, Five Forks, South Hill, Chigger Hill areas. Right now, though, looking at the radar, we have a warning out for east of Crossville. Severe thunderstorm warning there, southeastern portions of, or southern portions of DeKalb County. Also another one around Fort Payne right now. 1-inch diameter hail possible and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Station 28 clear. All right, so bear with me. Let me get back to the radar here. The hail that was showing up in that storm. Sorry, that was Jackson County confirming they received. Looks like around Fort Payne now, the hail. I'm not seeing any hail in it. There could be some pea-sized hail, but still the threat of some 60 mile per hour winds. Not seeing the hail in it at all like it was. Now, this one here is southeast of Crossville and east of Crossville. There's 2 little areas that's combined into one here. Not seeing the hail like it was. Looks like that was around Collinsville currently. And it's tracking on off to the northeast as well. And still noting the tops of these storms being quickly blowed over. But I am seeing another signature for some hail showing up now on the scan. It's southeast of Fort Payne. So you can still be seeing some hail in that storm there. So let me shut my door real fast. And we got lots of photos coming in from folks, but I just can't get to them at the moment. All right, so sorry, I was hooking our radios back up here. The one in DeKalb County probably will need to be canceled due to its weakened on out a lot. Not seeing that hail in it anymore. Doesn't mean it couldn't strengthen back up, but we're also watching this storm here over in Marshall County. There's a special weather statement on it. About nickel-size hail. And it's moving on off to the northeast, but I'm still noting those tops of these storms are just flying over. They're not able to maintain themselves very long. Now, that's excluding this one here around Fort Payne, or rather just south of Fort Payne. Let me take a look at our other radar and see if it might have decided to update. So, looks like it has decided it wants to work again. So, we're going to switch to it real quick. Yeah, glad that your vehicle, glad it's not very big.
Kilo Quebec 4, Victor Echo Tango.
Kilo Quebec 4, Victor Echo Tango, KO4FUN, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, so we got pea-sized hail at Fort Payne, about Centertown.
Roger that, pea-sized hail. Can you tell me that location one more time?
6 in Alabama, center of Fort Payne, northwest.
Roger that. Got pea-sized hail reported. Thanks a lot. I'll pass it along.
Roger, thanks, Chris. Kilo Quebec 4, Victor Echo Tango, signing up.
This is KO4FUN. I'll be standing by. Station 28 to Jackson County EMA. Did you pass something along to DeKalb County for me? Or the Weather Service, rather?
Absolutely.
We got a report on ham radio of in Fort Payne, pea-size hail.
Any more specific about where in Fort Payne?
He just said directly in Fort Payne, so I'm guessing like right in the city of Fort Payne. Let me look at radar really quick though, and I can get a better idea where he's at. So yeah, like literally right in the city of Fort Payne. Roger that, appreciate it. Station 28 Skyward standing by.
Jan 4 in Marshall County.
All right, so we're getting pea-size hail reports with this storm here. That was in the city of Fort Payne by a ham radio operator. Looking like the storm's sliding on off to the east now. There may be, of course, some larger hail in there because I'm seeing the hail start to show back up. It could be close to quarter-size hail possible with that, so we'll still watch it. This one here looks like it is still warned on this radar. I'm not sure if it is on the other one. This one may be lagging again. Looks like it wanted to just crash for a minute. Okay, so we're backing off. Okay, there we go. I'm already seeing the report come up. There we go. Yeah, so it's already been reported. So there we go. Must have just got that up. Okay, so he was southeast of Fort Payne. So I'm pretty sure he said center of Fort Payne. Maybe I'm mistaken. 7:19. That was just 1 minute ago. Maybe I misunderstood him on the air there. That could have been a little bit of a user error problem there. So getting pea-size hail reports with that storm moving on off to the northeast. Still looks like it is warned. 7:02. Looks like it goes until 7:45. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. Getting reports of hail, but of course only pea-size. It's really weakening out now. Moving off to the northeast. But there is some concern that I do have. We have these storms popping up ahead, and then we have this cluster of storms here. And then from up here, we have more coming in. So I'm getting some damage reports with this one in Tennessee. 3-inch limbs broken. That's some big tree limbs right there. Being broken due to that, and there is a outflow boundary ahead of this, so just want to mention that. You could have some 60-mile-an-hour winds possible well ahead of this line here, moving into the northwest portions of Jackson County. It'll be approaching high top shortly. Taking a look at that, let me back up, see if my radar crashed or not. Looks like it's still going. Okay, still going. So let's back away a little bit and move northwest. There is an outflow boundary ahead of this stuff. And there could most definitely be some high winds up to 60 miles per hour with this. Looks like areas around Francisco and Jackson County and Larkin, Estill Fork, High Top areas, all in that warning Jericho. Some very high winds coming out ahead of this line here. As far as DeKalb County goes, we still have some storms. They look like they're still warned. And they, in fact, are still warned, but they are weakening. But we do have additional development now. This storm here might become severe as well. It's developing right along 168 there around Double Bridges. Arona moving off to the northeast. Possibility this one here might pop back up and be a big hail producer too. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Still watching this one in Fort Payne and, of course, around Collinsville. Let's take a look at the chat here and see if there's any questions. I haven't even looked. Let's see. Okay. I got some people saying hail in Fort Payne. What size is it? We've got reports of pea-size hail. Wow, south end of Fort Payne looks gold. I bet at this sunset that's going on that we just had, I bet it does look gold. I wasn't able to see it. Wow, and I wish I would have got outside and got some photos, but the storm was too close. Okay, I think I got a friend that's got all kinds of photos of that. Wow, that's a beautiful rainbow sent in to us. All right, let's see if I can't get some of these photos up. All right, so I'm going to post this up, and let me see if I can't get it posted up in the photos here. Updated community shelters. Okay, I need to put that up. All right, so EMA has put up an updated list of shelters in DeKalb County. Go check that out on our Facebook page. I did just share it, in case you need to go to one, in case there is a tornado warning or something issued later. Let me see if I can't find those. Okay, here's that list, and I will post that up in the chat here. Or actually not in the chat, but on the live stream. All right, so here's a list of some of those storm shelters that was just posted up by the DeKalb County EMA office. As community storm shelters, DeKalb County, as of May 8th, 2025. We have Collinsville, closest storm shelter. Of course, city and town, Collinsville, closest storm shelter is Crossville Fire Hall, next to the fire department. Okay, I'm trying to read this and figure this out here. Okay, I see what it's saying now. Okay, so it's saying city and town for Collinsville, closest storm shelter is Crossville Fire Hall, it says. That's quite a bit of a distance there. Crossville, of course, is next to Crossville Fire Department. Fort Payne, closest tornado shelter is Rainsville at Plainville School. That's a really big drive. Fife Town Hall. Geraldine Town Hall, storm shelter there. Henniger would be 1106 Greenbrier Drive. There's a storm shelter there. Eider, safe space, basement of library across from Town Hall. Kilpatrick, next to the old community center, of course, big storm shelter there. Powell, across from Powell Town Hall. Rainsville, Plainview School, only open to public when school is not in session. Shiloh, behind the Shiloh Fire Department. Sylvania Fire Department, behind Sylvania Trust. And Valley Head, across from Town Park. So there's a new updated list of storm shelters in case you do end up needing to go to one. Some of those shelters, that's kind of scary how far away some of them are from others, but yeah, still watching these storms here. Watching this one off the southwest here. I do expect these warnings to be canceled off, but this one here to the east or northeast of Fort Payne around Fisher Crossroads, looks like that one still producing some hail. So we still got another 17 minutes on this one. And it's moving off to the northeast at 15 miles per hour. Very slow. Areas impacted with this one will be Lebanon, Pine Ridge, Fort Payne, Dogtown, Colibran, Guest, Adamsburg, DeSoto State Park, Little River Canyon, and Rainsville. Of course, it is well away from Rainsville. So just letting you know, if you're in Rainsville, it's not going to be affecting you. At least this one's not. This one here is going to be moving kind of right to the southeast of Fisher Crossroads. You're still getting a ton of rain, though, if that's where you're at in Fisher Crossroads. And it's continuing northeast, just south of Lake Howard. And just south of Bankhead. It's like National Forest. And we got another one developing on top of Adamsburg. And also, if you're the southern portion of DeKalb, just to the northeast of Collinsville, around Mount Vernon, it's moving off to the northeast toward Loveless, Dogtown areas. Still the threat of some quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds as well. Now, if you're in Jackson County, let's go back up here. Still, you're seeing the storm to the north. It's passing just to the north of everybody, but it's this gust front ahead of it. And that gust front is going to be capable of producing some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And that's a very interesting signature. Just showed up on the radar here. Let's check that out. Yeah, seeing some very high winds, potentially damaging right on top of Francisco right now, northwest portion of Jackson. Some very high winds, up to 50, 60 miles per hour, easy with that, as that's moving on across the northwestern portion of Jackson County, eventually moving to the southeast or east, kind of toward Jericho. Looks like it's closer to Tennessee. Tennessee, sorry. Losing my voice here. It's a very nasty storm there, so especially around Francisco. All right, so we have another storm, and this one will probably go warn too. It's around right on top of Arona, near Liberty, moving to the northeast, kind of toward Rodentown. So if you're in Rodentown, get ready for some hail. The storm's going to have some hail in it. I wouldn't be surprised for it to go warned. I wish my tools would tell me how large of the hail it was, but it unfortunately doesn't. No warning or special weather statement on that yet, but it could definitely go warned here if it keeps it up. So watching this one near Fort Payne, it is now to the northeast of Fort Payne. Looks like it's, sorry, listen to some radio traffic there. It'll eventually be moving into Georgia here in probably a little while. This thing's not moving quick, but some other additional thunderstorm development right on top of Adamsburg. There's still that severe thunderstorm warning up for another 13 minutes for that area, which would be till 7:45. Was located near Fort Payne, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Areas impacted by that, it is to the east of Fort Payne, so we're going to cut Fort Payne off and say Adamsburg, DeSoto State Park, and Little River Canyon National Preserve with that one, because it is just to the east of Fort Payne currently. As far as this one here, still a thunderstorm producing some hail. Looks like it's in effect until 8 o'clock. This thing's not moving quick at all. At 7:30, severe thunderstorm was located near Sandrock, or 12 miles southwest of Little River Canyon National Preserve, moving east at 20 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Looks like areas impacted by that will be Adamsburg, Little River Canyon National Preserve, Dogtown, and DeSoto State Park. And I've got to grab a glucose real quick because I'm falling asleep back here. It means my sugar is going south. So this little cell here is south of Crossville, now like right on top of Rodentown and Liberty. Seeing some hail show up in that one. And that is a relatively new thunderstorm development. Wow, so people reporting that the sky literally turned gold in Fort Payne, and that it did. Absolutely, that is amazing. That's those hailstorms can do some amazing stuff because they build up so high up, and then especially at sunset when those rays interact with the ice crystals up in the upper part of the storm there, they really put off a show. So I'm trying to get some of these photos up and do a bunch of other stuff at the same time. So Jackson County net on 146090. Let me switch over to that.
Until.
Yeah, we got somebody that's trying to talk in there, but they're not making it in at all.
Not making it interfere.
Really hope I spelled it wrong.
4 Whiskey Juliet Golf, KI4 WJG, Stephen Hyder, no traffic.
All right, bear with me, guys. I got to switch over to my other antenna. This one's just not picking up. That one right there will make a big difference.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Alpha Juliet, that's looking for CAJ, Colt, and 5.
This is
CAJ, Colt, and 5. Who else we have up there that
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Foxtrot Uniform November. KO4FUN, name is Chris in Crossville, and like to check into the net.
Confirms KO4 at FUN in Crossville. Do we have any other check-ins?
All right, guys, let me go grab these photos. I just got them up. Had to give credit to everybody that sent them in, so that took me just a minute. Tons of photos still coming in, so I will be getting them up after the severe threat has passed. And let me share these photos with everybody. Absolutely beautiful rainbow. All right, guys, so we're going to switch out from this, change these photos. This was a view from Fort Payne. The sky was actually gold looking there. That was sent in by Shannon Chastain. Beautiful photo of that. Also, let's switch out. We got another photo of the rainbow, beautiful rainbow that was sent in by Andrea Marie. Beautiful photo of the rainbow there in Fort Payne. So let's get back to the radar. Hearing a lot of thunder out there with this storm, and the Weather Service putting up a special weather statement on this new storm here that's developing south of Crossville. Do see some hail with it. It's just hanging out right in between Liberty and Rodentown. New special weather statement there. Wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour and penny-size hail. Areas impacted would be Lebanon, Dogtown, Colibrin, Arona, Kilpatrick, Rodentown, Crossville, Lathamville, and Fort Payne. Still, let's check on these storms here that are warned. Looking like this one here, pretty much just a big rainmaker at this point. It's some hail. It has blasted out looks like a outflow boundary. It's moving towards Sylvania and Henniger. Some gusty winds with that. This is only going to influence more thunderstorm development. So these guys are kind of fighting with each other right now with the outflow boundaries. Looking at Jackson County, that's the area that I've been watching, that little corner of the storm there. Had my attention just a little while ago, and I'm going to take a look at it again. Looks like just some damaging winds potentially extending down into Jackson County, the northern parts, northwest parts. Looks like that's still going toward Jericho. These storms are not fast-moving storms. Looks like we got something near Huntland to Tennessee showing up on the velocity there. Okay, that's definitely not in the right spot, so there's some winds behind it. Yeah, so that's nothing to worry about. It's behind the main storm. All right, so we've got a ton of special weather statements out there from Marshall County, too. Looks like special weather statement, 40 to 50 mile per hour winds issued out at 726. Areas impacted will be Grant, Valamoso Springs, Guntersville, Columbus City, Cold Springs, Morgan City, Lake Guntersville State Park, Eddy, Lacey Springs, and Florette. Special weather statement there could be some hail, especially near New Hope, or just south, seeing a nice little signature as far as the hail goes. Some very large hail with that one. I'm going to say nickel, maybe more. Wouldn't be surprised to see larger hail than that be reported. Nice little hail maker there. Over in, looks like it extends further to the north, kind of near New Hope. This one is also throwing off an outflow boundary, which is only going to interact. These two are literally at war with each other. Look at this. It's like two ships firing off bombs at each other. That's something I hadn't seen in a long time. Two boundaries literally running into one another. That's crazy. It's going to be pretty stormy, and it's probably going to stay that way. As long as these outflow boundaries are going, they're going to continue to pop off thunderstorms. That's just how they do. So, unfortunately, still looking at this in south of Crossville. It's not warned, but there is some hail in it, that's for sure. Embedded in there. It looks like it's just to the east of Rodentown currently. And also near Hendricksville. Yeah, it's fine. This one here is showing some hail back up again near Loveless. That's going to be just to the south of Loveless there and northeast of Mount Vernon. This one's moving on off to the northeast. Looks like it may eventually move into the Lick Skillet area if it makes it that far northeast. This one here south of Crossville, just a very big thunderstorm at this point. Embedded hail with it, and also looks like it's touching Hendricksville. So if you're in Hendricksville, get some very big raindrops right now. If you're in Rodentown, you possibly got some hail, but it looks like the biggest hail is south east of you and north, kind of going near County Road 12 and County Road 392, also County Road 8, and looks like Highway 227 going all the way south toward Hendricksville, southeast. So just a big old thunderstorm there. There's some big hail in that one there. Still remaining to the north, just north of High Top. It looks like Jericho will probably be affected by some of that in Jackson County. I have to remember to say what county I'm in. I'm jumping around so much trying to watch everything. Nice little thunderstorm there near Grant. Just to the west, some hail. If you're in Grant right now, probably get some really big raindrops out of this. Also another one here, southwest portion of Jackson, just the southwest of Langston, seeing some hail there. Looks like that's near the South Salty subdivision area, Goodwin subdivision, and Lewis Evans subdivision area, and southwest portion of the Jackson County. Nice little thunderstorm development there. Overall, though, elsewhere in Marshall County, looks like just some scattered stuff, just anywhere from north of Guntersville, northeast of Guntersville, and east of Guntersville, moving into portions like Asbury, even on into DeKalb County, around Grove Oak, 5 Points, Whiten, Rogers, Pendergrass. Right now, just some scattered shower thunderstorm activity there. Hopefully these storms here take all the energy out. That's what we're hoping. It takes the energy out, and these storms to the northwest that come in just will be pretty much strong storms. That's what I'm hoping. Seeing another hail core on this cell here north of Powell. That's going to be east of Mount Vernon, just south of Loveless is where that hail core is at. Looking at it on radar, looks fine as far as looking at rotation or anything. Looks pretty normal. All right, let's look at some messages real quick. And that, whoa, I don't know what that hit, but that was close. Like it sounded like it was right out the door. Yeah, so be careful as well if you're outdoors. Remember, we're surrounded by storms. So if you're not getting rain in Geraldine or Lakeview or Fife or Shiloh, Rainsville, I mean, any of them areas, Crossville, Dawson, Kilpatrick, just because you ain't getting any rain don't mean you can't be hit by lightning. Because that lightning strike there was well outside of this storm here near Crossville. It sounded like it hit like literally right, probably just up the road a couple hundred, 100 or 1,000 feet. All right, looking through the chat. All right, so it's trying to flood if you're driving down Godfrey Avenue in Fort Payne. Yes, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Powell, but that's in the southeast portions. That's going to be near, I believe, the Dogtown area or northeast of Collinsville. That'll be a little more better. Northeast of Collinsville, there's some hail there. But overall, the storms are, kind of just scattered and, just clustered up, as I was mentioning during our last update. They're going to be very clustered up. Henniker, nothing yet. Nothing, but there is some kind of heading your way. You will be experiencing some gusty winds, though, out ahead of that gust front that's moving through. Currently on top of Rainsville, Sylvania, heading toward Henniker. It's past Valley Head. Also, it'll move toward Eider. Awesome, Nathaniel. I hope you're doing well. Good call. Good to see you. I hadn't heard from you in a while. If you have photos to send me, just send them in the messenger on Facebook, and I will get them. I got like a lot of them that came in, so I got a lot to look over. So far, any warnings that were in effect for Marshall County, no warnings in effect yet. Lots of dangerous lightning out there, though. So just a special weather statement up for some hail and gusty winds in Marshall County northern portions. DeKalb County, it's still wanting to put a severe thunderstorm warning up on that, which is kind of strange. I didn't even hear the EAS system go off. So I'm not sure. I guess they're leaving that up for some reason. But it's now moving to the northeast of Powell. That's going to be southeast of Loveless, or actually rather to the east, and south of Lickskillet. And that'll be moving on into Cherokee County here very shortly. All right, once this warning cancels, we're probably going to wrap it up until we get some new development or new warnings. I'm really hoping that these storms here have, kind of calmed our atmosphere down. We're at 65 degrees, so it has cooled off a good bit. Not seeing anything severe here, so, this is more than likely the initial line that we've been talking about for a while. So this is probably going to be it. And there's our cold front off to the northwest. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be it once this moves through. So it came in a lot sooner than we thought it did. Barometric pressure is at 28.73. And looks like it's falling. All right, Reba, thanks for that report. Was just reading over everybody's comments here. It took me a while. Wow, I would have loved to have a photo of that rainfall, that reddish brown. That would have been nice. I imagine I've got a lot of photos. Yeah, the lightning is awful. It's shaking here too. I'm kind of nervous because I'm sitting here behind all this equipment hooked to antennas out there. Do have it grounded, but still doesn't make me feel any better. All right, everybody. So still seeing that warning up, which is see when the newest update was at 7:31. It goes until 8 o'clock. And that thing is moving it's located near Sandrock, or 12 miles southwest of Little River Canyon National Preserve, moving east at 20 miles per hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible, and quarter-size hail. Areas impacted include Adamsburg, Little River Canyon, Dogtown, and DeSoto State Park. Forgive my voice for messing up. I know it sounded really crackly, and even broke up a few times. I've got a sinus infection or something going on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap things up here. I'm still seeing some storms to the north, up around Grant, still showing some hail. And Marshall County, there is a special weather statement was put up for that one at 7:49 just a minute ago. Wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour, penny-sized hail with that. Of course, gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. Areas impacted will be Dutton, Grant, Langston, Woodville, Section, Scottsboro, Columbus City, Hollywood, Pisgah, and Rosalie. And not forgetting about the northern areas of Jackson County there around Jericho. Those storms are now on top of you, so some pretty heavy stuff coming through. You're still under a warning. Very heavy stuff coming through the Jericho area in the northern portion of Jackson County, in between the Tennessee-Jackson County line. Looks like that's along Highway 79 there, going right through Jericho up into Tennessee. That will move on off to the east. And that is all we've got at the moment. So we'll continue to watch stuff, see if anything else pops up or goes severe warned. And if it does, we'll definitely come back on and go live again. But that being said, going to get ready to wrap it up here at 7:52. Hopefully I got some time to get some photos of my drone. I'm not so sure about that. I forgot what time it gets dark. Did I freeze up? Did I freeze up to anybody? Maybe my internet has been a little bit bad. Wow, that lightning there was close. All right, everybody, so stay weather aware. We're not done yet. We are still under a severe thunderstorm watch, so keep that in mind. We're not done with this yet. Okay, so it did freeze up. That's probably due to the lightning, I'm going to guess, as close as it's hitting. Okay, so others are saying no, that it didn't freeze up. It's probably due to the lightning, more than likely. So let's get ready to wrap it up here, of course, with our sponsors, Mr. Dylan Snyder, Alabama Living Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, you can give him a call, 256-979-4330. Also check him out on Facebook. And I've got one more. Didn't mean to put that up just yet. RKG Automotive Group. For more information, you can give them a call at 256-323-7323. Also, give them a like on Facebook. And also, I thank them for sponsoring me, helping me keep the bills on this page paid up because they're so high. Some others saying it's froze up. Well, maybe not. We got another warning coming out, so let's get back on.
The National Weather Service in Huntsville, Alabama has issued a severe
Let's see where this is at.
northeastern Jackson County.
Northeastern Jackson. Okay, that's going to be with this little bit here.
Southeastern Franklin County.
Okay, so we're not done yet.
p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:50
Wow, this stuff's moving slow.
Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles south of Callan, or 12 miles southeast of Winchester, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour with gusts and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated.
Alrighty.
Damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roof, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Bridgeport, Bass, Jericho, Long Island.
This is KO4FUN, all amateur radio operators. The National Weather Service in Huntsville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be for northeastern DeKalb County in northeast Alabama. The severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles south of Cowan, or 12 miles southeast of Winchester, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Hazards will be 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. This is KO4FUN, clear traffic. So yeah, this thing has got a long way to go, if it even makes it that far. No guarantees, so I know I'm a little bit confused why that was put out that far. I guess that might be due to the winds ahead of it. There's always that possibility because we do have a gust front out ahead of it, and it is more than likely going to make it down there. Seeing that gust front there, like right on top of High Top now. So I guess this is more or less an area of uncertainty at this point. But if you're in northeast portions of DeKalb County, anywhere from Beulah, Fairview, Deerhead Cove, Shiloh area, and where in the world is Ider at? There's Ider. So it's a little bit northeast of Ider. You're in that warning. Also, Jackson County, anywhere around Bridgeport, Stevenson area, Rocky Springs area, Long Island, Pleasant Grove, Bass, Eureka, Harris, Stevenson, all those areas. If I didn't just say Stevenson, you're in a warning now. And that's due to this stuff to the north. And there's a possibility it doesn't even make it that far south. It's wanting to ride right along the border there of Tennessee and Alabama, or Tennessee and up in there in North Jackson County. And that's got to be due to the winds there, I'm guessing. Let's take a look. Okay, so I do see some winds showing up on there, but I don't believe they're going to be 60 miles per hour. And we're right at the radar site, so that's accurate as you could possibly be when it comes to the wind speed. Okay, so right at the radar site, we've got winds, a reading of 16 miles per hour. So, I mean, that's as close to the ground as you could get. So it's not going to be due to that gust front. So my guess is that it's kind of uncertain which way this thing's going to go. I'm a little bit confused, honestly. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense now. So I just looked at the scan a little bit more, and these winds out ahead of this here are pretty rough, so that makes sense. It's in the general direction that this is heading, so that makes a lot more sense. So that's what that's due to, is that gust front out ahead. Some pretty high winds, even some damaging winds in there. That's moving on off to the southeast, so that's what that's going to be all about. And that right now, looks like the gust front is now approaching 117. It's like Highway 117 around Pleasant Grove, Bass, Cave Springs, and Jackson County, moving to the southeast. Not very quick at all. This storm is taking absolutely forever, to get where it's going. So that'll be what it's due to. The outflow that's ahead of that storm. It's going to be what that warning is all about. Looking at our area here, I want to take one more look. We do have some additional thunderstorm development around Collinsville currently. Nothing severe with that. Just a special weather statement that expires in 17 minutes. The warning for the northeastern portion of DeKalb County looks like to the east of Fort Payne. That warning there is now gone. It's moved on into looks like Georgia. This one here moving on into Cherokee County. So we're still seeing some shower and thunderstorm development around Collinsville. Some more development now, just to the west of Lakeview. Looks like that's going to be over South Hill very shortly, and Grove Oak. Seeing some hail with this one here north of Hopewell. And that is in DeKalb County. And for those that would like to send a donation to help us out, there is the Cash App. Just want to throw that along. I try to put it out whenever I can. I do appreciate the support. Chattanooga, just saw that come up. Let's take a look. You're talking about Chattanooga up in Tennessee, am I correct with that? Nothing going on there, but you do have a severe storm just to the west of you. Check back in with Josh real quick. This is Station 28 Skywarn. Jackson County EMA. Did y'all get any reports of anything yet? Or is everything looking pretty good?
So far, so good.
Roger that. Want to check in with you there. Looking good here too. We got some pea-size hail reports, of course. That's about it at the moment. Some gusty winds, but not sure. I'm hoping maybe the atmosphere has worked over pretty shortly. Maybe it will be anyway.
Hopefully, see how this next one goes.
Yeah, I've been watching that next line along, or actually ahead of the cold front, starting to see a strong thunderstorm develop, but it looks like it's pretty scattered. I think these might just go ahead and take out everything, and this might be all we get. That would be nice.
Yeah, you won't hear me complain. Hopefully, it's going to start dying off since the sun's going down.
Roger that. I'll stay in touch. Thanks again, Josh. Station 28B, standing by. So we're going to just go ahead and stay live since we've got such a big mess out here. And I'm noting some new development with some thunderstorms. Looks like that's just to the east of Geraldine. That's going to be along some of these gust fronts. That's absolutely just fighting each other. So since I don't have to use this, I'm going to switch it out to my big antenna here.
Whiskey 4 might be check.
All right, so now seeing those winds in Jackson County to the north. Looks like they're getting along Pleasant Grove there in Jackson County, a Cave Springs area. Also Bass here pretty shortly. We got some messages coming over here. I'm trying to see what's going on. Okay, so I have a person asking about the storm in Collinsville. I have lots and lots of photos coming in, so I'll have to get with all of them here shortly. Storm in Collinsville, there's no warning on it or anything. It's just some heavy rain and gusty winds. Alrighty, so I've got faith in the high resolution models right now. They're wanting to show this activity here moving on off to the east, and some of those storms could be rather heavy. This one here, particularly around Woodville, as it pretty much interacts with this gust front coming in. I'm going to be watching that, see if any rotation develops with that one. I'm going to be watching it because it's actually colliding with this gust front out of the north, moving to the south. The storm itself is moving to the northeast, so plus there's a gust front here moved over Scottsboro and Hollywood, moving right toward that gust front. So there's a lot of wind going different directions here. We got some new development along the gust front there. It's just the southwest of Gurley. So we're going to need to watch these systems here as they do collide with each other. Make sure nothing briefly tries to spin up like we had Saturday. So DeKalb County currently looking good. Marshall County looking very good at the moment. Right now we're just watching the stuff in Jackson County around Woodville, moving to the northeast. Also a spell. There's some hail on top of them right now, moving kind of towards Scottsboro. This gust front will more than likely push this cell further to the southeast, or actually further east-southeast, and it would probably impact Scottsboro. So let's just see how everything interacts here. So this is my cell of attention right now. It's going to be this one near Pleasant Grove. It's pretty windy. All right, so I am seeing some very gusty winds in this storm near Limrock. There is a special weather statement on that one too. Moving towards Scottsboro, and this is going to be interesting once these two meet. So seeing some outflow winds with this one here, so it could be some 50 plus mile-an-hour gust as it moves along. It looks like Highway 79, or is it? No, that's County Road 79. Some high winds there around Limrock, moving off to the east. That is going to blow right towards Scottsboro, depending on how quick this gust front meets up with it. So we're going to be watching that, make sure nothing starts rotating on this as they do meet. You can see the reds, of course, different wind direction. Green moving a different direction. Of course, the wind is moving to the southeast with the red, and the wind is moving to the north with the green, or rather northeast. So this is pretty much what we got going with the wind right now. So they're actually meeting right now. So we're going to see if anything crazy starts happening. So we're going to be watching this side of the storm, and I can already tell they collided together. They're starting to get a little bit of a signature showing up. It's nothing, nothing at all serious yet. I mean, it's just showing, looks like the winds are meeting. That's all. All right, so I'm actually going to switch to another radar at this point. in my opinion, I mean, the Radar Omega is amazing. Don't get me wrong. But if you're looking at high definition stuff, like you're wanting to look into the storm like HD wise and be able to see stuff that's, really hard to see, I've got a lot of experience with radar scopes, so I like to look at it because it gives me a lot better idea what's going on. And I already tell you, those winds are really interacting. There's some very high winds. What surprised me if there's not a warning put out for that, the way that wind is looking there. It's really high. Let me check it with the meter here, though, and see. So I know we had a peak right here with some higher winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour. And that was probably closer to 60 or 50 plus here. Let me back the radar up a little bit. So we got 50. Okay, yeah. So it was actually 50. So it looks like all that's headed toward, of course, just went through a spell, maybe towards Scottsboro and eventually Hollywood. That is great.
Plan to clear all counties in our coverage area except for Marshall, DeKalb, Jackson.
So all counties are going to be cleared of the severe thunderstorm watch soon, except for DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall counties. And once this gets out of here, we'll be good to go.
Alpha 4, Bravo, right? Go ahead. See, you sound like you're taking some check-ins. You can put down 28 check-ins from Colbert, Lauderdale, and Franklin counties from a previous net. That's 2-8. Got it. Thank you very much.
Good news so far. Everything's behaving itself, other than some hail that is just going to be to the west of Scottsboro and northeast of a spell. It's a pretty nice hail core showing up there. That's going to need to be watched. So I expect an additional special weather statement to be issued up shortly. So 7:49 was the last update, 40 to 50 miles per hour and penny-sized hail. That's pretty accurate. Areas impacted would be Dutton, Grant, Langston, Woodville, Section, Scottsboro, Columbus City, Hollywood, Pisgah, and Rosalie.
2024, Las Davis, positive 29 with St. and Jefferson County.
Here we go. The National Weather Service has canceled severe thunderstorm watch 239 for the following areas. In Alabama, this includes Pullman, Limestone, Madison, Morgan, Franklin, Alabama, and Lawrence. In Tennessee, this cancels 2 counties, Lincoln and Moore. This includes the cities of Athens, Coleman, Decatur.
Okay, so the only areas now that are under that watch, I'm circling them.
Russellville and Town Creek.
DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall.
Remains valid until 10 p.m. for DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall. In Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee. So this will include the cities of Albertville, Arab, Boaz, Cowan, Deckard, Estelle Springs, Fort Payne, Gunnersville, Rainsville, Scottsboro, Sewanee, and Winchester. You got Fort Kennedy R. Skywarn in control. Let's let this continue. Okay.
Station 28 Skywarn with a update. The National Weather Service has canceled every one of the severe thunderstorm watch, excluding DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall counties. So watch being cleared up. as this line moves through. Looks like we still are under the watch here in DeKalb, Jackson, and Marshall counties until 10 o'clock. This station 28, Skywarn, standing by. All right, so Scottsboro, get ready for some high winds, potentially some hail. This gust front is interacting with this storm. It's now going to be pushing it a little further to the south. Good news is I haven't seen any type of rotation with it yet, so that is good. But I do see some gusty winds, and this gust front could possibly make it accelerate those wind speeds a bit. So if you're in Scottsboro and Hollywood, and of course they did just put out a special weather statement on it, just like 2 or 3 minutes ago at 8:13, so 1 minute ago. Strong thunderstorm will impact north central Marshall and central Jackson counties. That'll be through 9 o'clock. At 8:12 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Scottsboro, moving off to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour and some penny-sized hail possible. Areas impacted would be Hollywood, Martintown, Limrock, Pisgah, Rosalie, Woodville, Pleasant Groves, Fackler, Larkinsville, and Scottsboro.
South Pittsburgh, or 7 miles northwest of Bridgeport,
Okay.
moving east at 30 miles per hour. Radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail.
A severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Jackson County.
Anderson, Long Island, and Russell Cave National Monument. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Anything else we do that? All right.
So that is going to be for northeastern Jackson and southeastern Franklin counties. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock. It's going to be due to these winds.
Was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Scottsboro, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Radar indicated wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour.
Okay, the warning that was in effect that it went down into DeKalb County, that was canceled out. As I expected it to be. Looking at this one here, very close to Bridgeport. So if you're in Bridgeport, you're getting some possibly damaging winds right now with this storm here that's hanging out around the Tennessee and Alabama border there. All right, so I am seeing an acceleration in the wind speed. Let me stop this. These may be incorrect, but considering I'm seeing more than one spot, I'm starting to wonder if that's correct. That's really close to the radar site, so I'm going to watch those. That may be incorrect, but we know this here is correct. Some 30, maybe 40 mile an hour wind gusts still being picked up on radar. Again, that's moving kind of toward Scottsboro and Hollywood. I expect this storm to be making a direction change here shortly. That is a really powerful outflow boundary. It's really speeding up, too. And I know I've had my attention on this storm for a while, and you know, there's reasons for that. That's because the winds are coming in a different direction from the north. You know, we've seen this happen quite a bit with a squall line. When you get a squall line moving in, you get a gust front meeting, you know, in a different direction. We've seen them, you know, produce tornadoes that way. So that's why I'm watching this one carefully. I'm not forgetting about you at Bridgeport, though. You're still getting those high winds right now on top of Bridgeport. They could be anywhere 50 to 60 miles per hour, but the storm itself is still to the northwest of you. So you're probably not getting anything other than wind right now, and you're probably wondering what in the world's going on. And that's what it is, that gust front out of those strong thunderstorms or severe thunderstorms up Tennessee with some big hail in them, too. Lots of heavy rain with it. So evidently, I don't think these two have met yet. But they should be meeting like right now. I know it's not moving fast. So it looks like they're just now meeting up with each other. And they have trimmed back. That's the area where the severe thunderstorm warning is at. Power Storms. Where are you watching from there? Good to see you. I had never seen you on here. I'll get to everybody's photographs very shortly after all this weather calms down a bit. The link to donate, it depends on which one you're wanting. The PayPal one is, I can send it to you here in just a second. I forgot. I can actually do that. But there is where you want to send it to if you're doing Cash App. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And the PayPal link, let me see if I can find that real quick. All right, so I will be posting that in the chat if it will let me do that. Sometimes this thing is very, very odd, and it don't look like it's wanting to let me post anything in there for some reason. Don't know why that is. That's weird. I think it just posted up. Maybe. Okay, let me know if that comes in there or not, because I'm not guaranteeing that it did. If it didn't, just let me know. There it goes. It popped up. Thank you, each and every one of you. I greatly appreciate it. So good news is this storm has not started rotating. That is some good news. It is already colliding with that outflow. And it hasn't started rotating yet, but it is making a little bit of adjustment with its path. Looks like it's starting to move a little bit more east. So get ready for some very high winds in Scottsboro, Hollywood. Very heavy rain more than likely falling in Scottsboro. Maybe some hail. There is a little bit of a hail core just to the northwest of Scottsboro. Let me fix this radar because it doesn't look the best on my end. So let me cancel that out real quick, open it back. Okay. All right, so if you're anywhere around Scottsboro and Hollywood, get ready for some very high winds with this stuff. Looks like 40 to 50 miles per hour winds possible with this storm. Looks like it'll be moving toward Hollywood, Martintown, Limrock, Pisgah, Rosalie, Woodville, Pleasant Groves, Fackler, Larkinsville, and Scottsboro. Moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. I am seeing it pick up as I kind of thought it would. Seeing some possibility of some larger hail in that storm. Definitely going to need to be watched. It's now officially made contact with that gust front. And so we got the opposite going on here. The storm is actually pushing the gust front away. So that's pretty interesting. So yes, they have now collided with each other, as you can see on the radar here. And the storm is not really changing direction that much. It looks like it is trying to go more to the east, though. It has changed a little bit. Compared to its direct northeast, it looks like it's going kind of to the east-northeast. Almost looks like a snail shell. And I do see some pickups in them winds, too. Those winds are picking up as it's making contacts. I'm seeing some 40 mile per hour. Possibility it goes even higher than that as it continues to interact with that gust front. I'm also seeing some hail start to show up in a different part of the storm. But this one possibly might need to be warned. There's a possibility. We will watch it.
Alabama counties, DeKalb, Jackson, Marshall, and Tennessee, Franklin. Cities to include Albertville, Dekalb, Boaz, Cowan, Deckard, Estelle Springs, Fort Payne, Gunnersville, Raysville, Scottsboro, Sewanee, and Winchester. Yeah, for 2 stars. I want to control.
All right, so really seeing those winds pick up.
Severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Jackson and northeastern Franklin counties is canceled.
Okay, the northeastern portions of Jackson, you have now been lifted out of that severe thunderstorm warning. So that severe thunderstorm warning you're seeing right now, it has been canceled as of just now. Still seeing some 30, 40s mile per hour wind gusts with this storm here. Continuing off to the northeast, it's just to the northwest of Hollywood, but it looks like there's still some winds coming your way. It looks like Scottsboro is getting those winds like right this minute, and then it'll be approaching Hollywood. Let's switch it over to the actual velocity. The velocity actually adds the storm motion back and gives us a little better idea how high those winds are. I didn't realize I had it on super res. Still 44 mile per hour I've got in there. Pretty bright colors. So we had some embedded 51 mile per hour just moments ago. So 40 to 50 looks like where it's hanging out at, and it's weakening just a bit. Very odd looking storm. Almost looks like I don't know, a person walking maybe or running. Bauer Power Storms, like my Facebook. Go like my weather page here on Facebook and send me a message, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. Sure, anybody wants to send photos in, feel free to send them in. Thank you, Miss Pam. I just saw your comment. Y'all help him out. I donate what I can every month. That is true. She does. Definitely tries to help me out, and it makes it helps every little bit. Thanks so much, Miss Pam. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kirby. Glad you trust me. I'm trying my best. That's for sure. I'm a little bit tired because I went to sleep at 3 o'clock last night and woke up at like 7. So those two are not a good combination.
and there is also a snake.
That's not good information that needs to be coming over the stream here. I try to keep all that personal traffic turned down when it comes to the private stuff. I try to keep that turned down. Anyway, so seeing a big uptick with the hail in this storm. So we got some embedded hail now just north of Hollywood. Let me back it up and look at my other radar, see if it decided it would cooperate. So it looks like the radar for the moment, the one that I like to use a lot, is finally cooperating. So let's switch to it. And I appreciate everybody watching. I just now looked up and realized that I had 140 people watching, so I do appreciate it. I think that just went down a little bit. But please let me know how I'm doing. I would appreciate it. So seeing some hail now northeast of Tupelo in Jackson County. That's kind of an odd place that I did not know existed. Looks like it's around County Road 33 in the Kyles area. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, guys, because I really can't pronounce that word. Looks like it's going to be some hail south of Pikeville, right along the Chestnut Knob area, somewhere I never even knew existed either. To the north of Hollywood, there's going to be some hail with this storm, so this outflow boundary is really running into it, causing it to strengthen up a bit. So still seeing some really high winds in that area. A little bit of a pickup there. I'm going to take a look at another scan on another radar. That's going to need to be the velocity. Okay, so now we have some big peak winds showing up on radar now. We've got 52, 53 miles per hour. Really starting to pick it up with those winds. 52 miles per hour. 55 miles per hour. So we're really seeing those winds pick it up at this point with this cell here in Jackson County. I'm looking at it with a tool on my other radar. So that's the highest gust that I've seen was 55 miles per hour. So you can see 40, 50 plus mile per hour winds with this near to the northeast of Pikeville. Looks like along County Road 33. I seriously think that says black ankle, okay? If it's wrong and that ain't how you pronounce it, don't make fun of me, okay? But I swear that's what it says. I've never heard of it before, but it's in Jackson County.
Control operator K4BRG, repeat.
So seeing those winds really pick it up. Let's see if the Weather Service has done an update. At 8:12 was the last update, so it's been a little while. All right, so it looks like to me this storm is producing a downburst currently, and that's going to be what's going on with those winds. It's really starting to spread out. So it looks like it's producing a downburst. So those winds are going to be very rough in that area, and it looks like it's trying to go to the northeast. Let's check out DeKalb County. We're looking good here in DeKalb County. Looks like so I feel like Marshall County will be getting cleared from that watch pretty shortly. We still got a little while to go for DeKalb County and Jackson, but I feel like Marshall County will be getting canceled out of that pretty shortly. CC2 Jackson, yes, 62. All right, everybody. So I wanted to pay attention to that storm. Didn't want to leave until kind of seeing how it was going to do. So if it was going to, rotate, I figure it would have already started doing it by now. It looks like it's at a pretty widespread hail in there, embedded in areas. But it looks like, nothing really concerning at this point with it other than the hail. There is still a special weather statement up for another 26 minutes. But I believe that's just about it. I believe our severe weather is now moving out. It'll all be moving to the southeast and northeast. We'll continue to watch it until this stuff gets out of Jackson County. We'll sit back here and watch it, but there's really no need to keep a live stream up. They're dropping the repeater links right now at the Huntsville, which connects to the Huntsville Weather Service. So they're dropping all that. So I really don't see any need to continue, honestly, with them dropping all that. So, wow, thanks, Shelby. I try. Everybody says I have an awesome voice. Me, I hate my voice.
Because I still have a severe thunderstorm watch, and let's see, we got a National Weather Service in Huntsville has issued a
Okay, wait.
northeastern Jackson County.
Okay, so he was asking, why is everybody dropping the links? Okay, so we got another warning coming up. Let's not do that yet. And that's going to be this here. Station 28 Skywarn National Weather Service Huntsville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeast Jackson County until 9:15. At 8:34, a severe thunderstorm was located near Hollywood, or 9 miles north of Scottsboro, moving east at 35 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and $half size hail possible. Areas impacted: Bridgeport, Hollywood, Skyline, Martintown, Long Island, Fabius, Higdon, Fackler, Stevenson, and Scottsboro. Station 28 Skywarn clear.
Bridgeport, Hollywood, Skyline, Martintown, Long Island.
So evidently there has been some reports of $half size hail with this. Oh, whoa, never mind. No, look at that. Now that's a whole different ball game right there. Okay, so yes, we have very large hail with this thing now. $half size hail possible easily embedded in this. Starting to see those blues, and those blue areas are, really concerning. That's just how quick this weather can change. It went from weak to bam, being strong. So seeing some embedded areas where there could be potentially some $half size hail just to the northwest of County Road 42 in Jackson County. Also to the west of Russell Mountain. All that's moving to the northeast, kind of toward you. So there could be some very large hail with this storm here, moving on off to the northeast. Looks like County Road 35 will be next in line. County Road 53, Jackson County. County Road 55, it literally runs right into the storm. Very large hail with this storm here. So we're definitely not abandoning it at this point. This just goes to show sometimes it's better off to hang out. And we have broad rotation now with this storm now. So we need to be watching that.
Everybody heads up. They're working on getting Marshall and Franklin, Tennessee out of the watch shortly.
Okay, so Marshall and Franklin, Tennessee will be canceled out of the watch shortly. Okay, this thing is really weird. Okay, so let me check this out a little bit more. So it's looking like broad rotation on my other radar, but on the one I'm looking at now, I'm not seeing that. Like, look at this little area here. That would be broad rotation. Let me check what time did this thing update. 8:36. That's only 2 minutes ago. We'll watch that area anyway, just in case. Sometimes these radars can be a little bit funny. And we are on storm relative velocity. I wanted to make sure of that. Let's bring it down. I don't know why the relative velocity looks like this on here. Okay. So here's normal velocity, which shows the damaging winds. So let's minus the storm motion. Okay, when we minus the storm motion, we get a little bit better idea. So that's what's going on here. There is some broad stuff. We'll be watching that. That's actually going to be right where that hail core is. So, you know, they always say when you got hail that big, you have to watch for tornadoes too. It's that powerful of an updraft. So we will keep a very close eye on this storm here. I can actually spot what's, you know, a little bit of activity with this thing around Russell Mountain. Station 28 to Jackson County EMA. What are y'all seeing on y'all's end there with this one? Seeing some very large hail with it, even some broad rotation with it. Marshall County has been lifted out of the watch.
Yeah, I'm tracking a little bit of ground rotation. So far, no reports.
Roger that. Marshall County just got lifted out of the severe thunderstorm watch. I'm watching that area rotation. Looks like it's around Russell Mountain. I wasn't sure if y'all's cameras pointed that way or not. Okay. So if you're in Stevenson, I need to get ready for this storm to be there too. Roger absolutely did not pay attention to the time. So yeah, pitch black. That would not be very helpful at night. Okay, so I'm still watching this storm here. For some reason.
No, it tends to limit things.
Roger that. If you hear anything or, you know, anything you can pass along there, let me know. This storm's pretty interesting.
Absolutely, will do.
Thank you.
It's hot.
Okay, thank you.
Very,
Appreciate it.
very hot.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Looks good. All righty. I'll grab me a bite of that here in a minute. Looks absolutely delicious. All right, so good news. Nothing tightening up with this. There is some, you know, very broad rotation with it. And I'm still watching it. You better believe it. And right now I'm doing a correlation scan, you know, and I'm not seeing nothing on radar that would, you know, indicate a tornado on the ground. But, you know, that's kind of the deal with the one in Rosalie. It was very weak rotation. Well, it increased very quickly, but then weakened out really quick as well. So it was really hard to see on radar, just to be honest with you, it was. So what I'm paying attention to now as far as the velocity scan, this is, you know, really weak stuff, but it's this stuff getting close together here. You know, when I was watching the one in Rosalie, it looked similar to that, but it was a lot stronger than this. And what I'm using here, the correlation scan, it actually tells you, or you actually are looking for a debris signature with it. And that's what this shows. It shows debris and all that. Of course, you know, you can't, you know, go by everything you're seeing here. You have to have a trained eye to know what you're looking at with this, or else you have absolutely no clue what you're looking at. But usually if there was a debris signature, I'm just going to just give you a little idea. You know, it would not be this color. It would be a darker color than this. It would be, you see the darker colors and brighter colors of blue there? It would be that, but it would be a big ball like this, just a circle with those colors, the blue, it would really show up just out of the whole storm there. You would see this big circle in there. And you would also be able to look at velocity, and it would add up. You'd be able to see the rotation. It would be tight rotation, and then you'd have a debris signature. That's what you would be looking at. If that makes any sense at all. And you know what? Hang on one second. Keep forgetting you guys are on a different screen than what I'm on, so forgive me for that. I'm going to have to redo this again. Let me get the correlation coefficient back up, and I'll have to explain it again, because I believe you guys are actually looking at the secondary radar. Yep, you are. Okay, so let me do this one more time, because you couldn't see anything I was doing. Get confused with all these radars going. So you do see the bluer colors there, as I was mentioning. If we had rotation, there was a tornado on the ground, or something, or maybe you couldn't see a tornado on the ground by velocity, but you saw tight rotation. So you would switch over to correlation. Most of the time, of course, it's not that big. If it is, you probably got an F5 on the ground. That's not good. But most of the time, they're a good bit smaller than that. But you'd see something like that show up in the middle of this storm. You would see something like that, very obvious, pop up, and then you would know, well, yeah, we got a problem. That's a debris signature. So that's just a little idea of what it would look like, depending on what radar you're using, of course. Okay, so I'm now seeing a little bit of a tail, a little bit of a hook show up. All right, so that's probably an inflow tail, but still going to be watching it. Still an area of broad rotation with it, and there's still some very large hail with this moving towards Stevenson. Looks like embedded in there could be some $50 size hail moving toward Crow Creek Refugee, right over Cedar Grove to the northeast. So this is a very intense storm, and we are watching that hook. That's what I've been watching for a little while now with this storm, since it's been interacting with that gust front, is it to get a hook on it. So we're going to be watching that area. So if you're in Stevenson, you're getting this right now. You're getting some hail. Some very heavy rainfall and probably some damaging winds too. Bridgeport, we're watching this as it moves to the northeast. If it was to try to produce a tornado or something, you guys would need to watch it, especially it moving northeast toward Bridgeport. We'll have to see if it changes direction or not. Also Stevenson as well, because right now it's almost right on top of you. See some very high winds advancing with this storm right over Stevenson. So very, very stormy, very, very rough in Stevenson right now. So looks like that area of where the rotation would be at is like literally right on top of Stevenson right now. I'm looking at it through a second radar that has updated a little bit more than the one you're looking at, and it's showing it right on top of Stevenson right now. So very, very rough in Stevenson right now as that moves on through. Don't see nothing that will be saying, hey, there's a tornado on the ground or anything like that, but there is broad rotation. It is very, very windy there, and we're watching carefully to see if anything happens, and hoping it doesn't. Station 28 Skywarn Jackson EMA. You see that hook, a little bit of a hook showing up there on the northwest portion of the storm there.
Chris, you were cutting out. I couldn't hear you.
Oh. You got me now?
I do.
My internet's acting up a little bit. You notice that a little bit of a hook showing up with the storm near Stevenson?
I am staring at it now.
Roger that. Yeah, I started to see it start to get a little bit of a hook shape to it there.
The thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 9:15 p.m. for northeastern Jackson County. At 8:49 p.m.
So we are speaking directly with EMA. So they're watching. They are watching it now. I'm sure he was already aware of it, but he does see it now. So it is a very intense thunderstorm.
Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Bridgeport, Martintown, Long Island, Fabius, Higdon, Backler, Stevenson, and Hollywood. For your protection, move to an interior room.
It's still very broad. It still looks very broad on my end, but that is a really interesting signature right there, if I say so myself.
Yeah, it's in a really interesting location to have that signature.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. That's why I mentioned it. I wasn't sure if you saw it, but it looks even worse on the new update. So watching that one carefully, that one's interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so if you were in Jackson County, which of course it's that dark, I've got to remember, I've already lost track of it again. If you're near Stevenson right now, you're getting some very large hail. You need to be indoors away from windows. Seeing the hail increase big time on where this tail is. There could be some hail, $50, maybe, $50 size hail easily with that thing, looking at that new scan. Now, let me take a quick look at the storm relative velocity and see what it is saying now. I don't think the velocity is even picking up. It's like right on top of Harris there. That's a mean-looking little signature. I'm not sure that the velocity is even picking it up. I do see some broad stuff in there that definitely needs to be watched. Looks like it's just around Harris, moving to the northeast near Edgefield. So that's definitely a concerning signature on the radar. And I think it looks like a pelican or something, or definitely a bird or something flying. That's an odd signature. And it is, rather toward the southwest portion of the storm, where, a tornado or something would be at if it did develop. But I am seeing what looks like some inflow going up into that, which, could potentially make that wrap up if it was going to. Let's hope that's not the case at all. That these next signatures come in with it weak. But I had a feeling it was going to start rotating. I'll tell you that when it started interacting with that gust front. They usually always do. Not always. Most of the time, but not always. I'm going to back up while you guys are looking at this, and I'm going to look at it. Oops, did not mean to do any of that. Let me get the radar back up. All right, so I still see nothing but broad stuff, so that's good. Okay, my pager is going off. Didn't hear it go off there just a minute ago. All right, so still seeing that little bit of a tail there, but at the moment, doesn't look quite as bad as it was. So if anyone's got any reports, pass them along. If you're near Stevenson or right on, at Stevenson, you've witnessed something very odd, maybe some damage or something, let me know. I will pass that along directly with EMA if you live in Stevenson. So it's very close to Stevenson. So if there was something, there should be, damage in that area if it did anything, which I'm not getting any reports whatsoever of it doing that. But we're still keeping an eye on it. I will. I'll get to it. So any reports from Stevenson or anywhere around that area? Hopefully not. Not really seeing anything on there other than some broad rotation. DeKalb County has still not been cleared out of that watch yet. I'm listening to Huntsville Direct, and for something happened with the system, and they started unlinking stuff when it didn't need to be unlinked. And the net control operator mentioned what's going on with it, and I was thinking, well, it's okay to go off because, hey, they're unlinking everything. And then, no, definitely not. Mike Mahoney, here, Thunder and Eider. I hope you're doing good. I was wondering how you was. All right, so I do see some damaging winds showing up. Or potentially damaging. Let me say that much. Some 50 miles per hour now showing up. And let me get that new scan up. We haven't had an update just yet. I'm still seeing broad rotation by these areas. When I say broad, I mean incredibly broad, but we've got some winds moving in different directions, pretty much all in here. Just a big mess. The wind pretty much just wrapping around in all kinds of directions. And I could not have drawn that like a smiley face again if someone paid me to, without paying attention to it. That's pretty dang odd. So these winds, let's look at the winds here. Looks like around Mount Carmel area, around Cumberland Junction. Looks like that's along John T. Reddy Parkway, I believe, near Mount Carmel, seeing some really high winds. So Windows Creek Station, seeing some really high winds in there. All right, guys, so I'm going to keep watching this, try to eat my pizza here before it gets ice cold. So if you are in Bridgeport, be paying attention to this because this thing is coming your way. Seeing some, still indicating some hail with it, probably around, I'm going to say nickel and a quarter. He is moving on off toward Bridgeport. Also, remember, if you spot anything, make sure that you report it. No problem, everybody. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. I'm just now looking through the comments.
724 LALF down.
Wow, you was in between Stevenson and Bridgeport? Let me know how that went. Hopefully everything's good, but I bet you had some torrential downpours and even some hail and some really high winds. Okay, the National Weather Service should be dropping DeKalb County out of that severe thunderstorm watch momentarily. Jackson County, this storm is now pretty much just exploding. So there is still going to be the threat of some damaging winds with it. Also some hail, but it looks like it's moving on off into, about to enter into northwest portion of Georgia and Tennessee here pretty shortly. We're at 64 degrees, so a lot of our instability and everything's already been took out. So once we get these through here, we will be ready to clear out and be able to actually go to sleep and say, hey, we was blessed again. Didn't get that bad here. But that being said, we are still watching next week for storms. I haven't looked at the newest models. They could have completely changed, but we are keeping an eye out because it looks like we're moving into a very stormy weather pattern. But again, they've been changing every day. So you literally cannot go by what was showing up the day before or even the hour before the models changed just that quick. Oh, I know. I'm exhausted, too. I'm sitting back here wanting to go to bed. I'm like, hurry up and get out of here, Storm. This thing is like slow as Christmas. You could probably outrun it on a bicycle, honestly. See how fast it's moving. It is moving to the northeast at... moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Okay, well, you might need an engine on your bicycle, and then you could keep up with it, not run it, okay? Anyone that pedals 40 miles per hour, all I got to say is, hey, you got some strong legs. So it's moving a little quicker than I thought it was. All right, so it looks like now it's about to get right on top of Bridgeport. As I said, if there would have been a tornado or rotation, Bridgeport would have needed to watch it. And look, literally that exact area is about to go right on top of Bridgeport. But the good news is it's really spreading out and pretty much falling apart. Just some heavy rain. There's some embedded hail, but it's really weakening out quick. And, yeah, I do see some gusty winds, but that signature is, pretty much gone. Nothing of concern at this point. So, the National Weather Service in Georgia has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the area of Trenton, Georgia, for some possibility of some quarter-size hail. I don't really think they'll even get that, but they might. That'll be northwestern Dade County. No, correction. Dade County in northwest Georgia. Moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour now. So 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter size hail. Definitely not going to rule that out, especially since it's kind of spreading out. there could definitely be some high winds, and it's also connecting with this storm here. All right, so we will hang out. We should be hearing the watches cancel very shortly. So we are going to go ahead and wrap up. Since it is moving out, we do have some shower activity around Skyline. Maybe some hail in that too. I do see some embedded hail in there. But we'll continue to watch this and let this move on out, and then we'll be all clear. There's our cold front to the west. It's stalled out at this point. It's not, not really moving all that much. That's what you're seeing, the red dashes in it, the red and blue dashes. That means that the system is pretty much stalled out, and it's not moving, a whole lot. Particularly this area here of the cold front's actually moving. The others with the red is that it's not really moving at all. So it's kind of stalled out, just trying to push to the southeast or east-southeast our way. So if you're in Bridgeport, be ready. You're probably getting some hail, gusty winds right now. That's also, very possible heavy rainfall. Other than that, though, I believe we're, just about getting through this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up here. We have been live for 2 hours and 2 minutes and got a lot of photos to get up before I can even go to bed. So thanks for joining us here. Also, shout out to our sponsors there, Mr. Dylan Snyder and also RKG Automotive Group. Please check them out. And also Mr. Dylan Snyder at Alabama Living Real Estate. I can literally do this without even looking at it. But yeah, go check them out on Facebook. Thanks for sponsoring us. Couldn't do it without y'all. And also, if you'd like to send a donation to us, help us out, there's our Cash App. But that being said, we're going to get ready to wrap it up here at 9:06. Thanks again, everyone who sent photos, everyone who watched. Mike, take care of yourself. If you need me, give me a holler. And we'll see you on the next update. Have a good night, everybody.